that doesn't know who we are.
Hmm.
I'm a licensed psychotherapist and holistic nutritionist and a holistic healer in heart, because what I want is to bringing in what's giving to us in from nature, how to heal from food and herbs and supplements and there and other resources, the energy of sharing of, positivity within human to human. All these things are very healing. And so, and then Dr. Renea, tell us a little bit about your background and what is
Yes,
your mission?
absolutely. So, and I think I would really want to narrow in today and focus on the work that I do. So I am a consultant. I work with women who are coming out of the criminal justice system. I also do a lot of work with organizations, getting the organization to understand that it's not the individual, but that's happening in the organization, but there is just this energy. So I love to do work with groups and figure out what's happening and how they're showing up and why they're showing up, and individuals the same thing. So all of my work is around next level thinking, getting people to think outside of the box so that healing could happen on all levels, not just psychologically, but like so holistically. And I think that's why we do so well together, because we are looking at it from a holistic perspective. So it's not just this body that we live in, but there are so many amazing pieces that are working for us right now on levels that we don't even know that's happening. So I've been doing this work, the group work, for a number of decades at this point, and I love it. And I am passionate about, getting folk to think outside the box, and also with healing. And so our focus, I think, today is going to be talking about sisters and well, just people. And so please forgive me when I say sisters, because a lot of my work is done working with women. And so I'm now looking my niche now, and my focus is going to be working with sisters who have been touched by cancer, and so getting them to get their mindset right, to know spiritually that they are still whole and complete and can thrive and they're awesome. And so for the brothers that are out there, please forgive me if you hear me say sisters, sisters, sisters. Not that I'm neglecting you, that's not what I mean to do, but so I just want to let you know that.
Yes. Yes, but
Yeah.
everyone's going to benefit from the information that we're going to talk about today, right?
Yes. Yes, absolutely.
Oh, and we were talking about, your journey from experiencing, diagnosing cancer and healing from it, and reflecting, and the wisdom is within the process and with reflecting on what we learn, right? And we
Correct.
talking about really how resilient, how amazing our body is. And we want to just point out this is the specifics area about your built-in alarm system.
Yes.
How do we understand it? How do we learn from it that your body's talking to you,
Right.
right?
Right. And that's that, yeah. And I think that it's really interesting, because I think some folk, even though we know um, that our body is saying things to us when we're not doing well, when we're tired, sometimes we ignore it. Like, I'm exhausted. Your body is saying you're exhausted. Like, just take a moment to rest, and we keep moving. And then the body just throws us down, right? It just says, okay, then I'm going to give you a cold, and you have no, other alternative but to lay down, because
Mm-hmm.
now I just need you to rest. So I think we there are times when we just don't listen.
It's very true though. I just building on that recent conversation, I'm working with a gentleman with prostate cancer, and he said, "I know you said to go to sleep earlier. I have to tell you though, I messed up. The way he was saying it because I have these deadlines and I didn't go to sleep till around 1 a.m. few nights, and I do feel it because after our conversation, he can connect with the pain, with the fatigue and the energy afterward. He's like, I have to really work on how to get to sleep earlier. So even those things like we might think like it might be not be a big deal because we don't want to be a big deal because we have these deadlines we have to do and pay the bills and all the stuff like that. So juggling between make that money versus not getting sick, right? It's really tough.
Yeah, I mean, because I mean, if you think about it, a lot of folk talk about your why, right? What's your why? What's your why? What's your why? And we focus so much on, oh, we got to do the why is my family, and so even when your body is tired or you're not feeling well, if you are constantly like, I have to do this for this versus taking care of this so that you can show up for that.
Mhm.
But sometimes we get mixed messages out there, like,
Yeah.
i gotta
And
i
this
gotta
is
do my why.
Well, this is why I love also talking about food and nutrition and supplementation because we have these demands. Sometimes we
Yes.
don't have these choices. And this is where supplement herbs comes in and now knowing what to eat, also what to take to help your body at least balance it out a little bit. So, for example, if I have a late night because I have to finish something, and sometimes it's not like I have a perfect food diet or perfect sleep. No one does, okay? No matter,
Right.
even with all the knowledge I have, because I know I have to do this for my business partners and teams. I have to do this for my family and whatnot. And so sometimes there are deadlines, right? We all have different deadlines that we want to make
Right.
sure we execute them because we want to be reliable and dependable and accountable and all that stuff as well. Uh, then I say, you know what? The next day I want to make sure I have my curcumin extreme to take care of my liver. I want to make sure I have my OPC3 to help with my circulation, helping making sure my circulation is good because we lose a lot of oxygenation. Your stem cell decreases when you're not getting enough sleep, you're overworked, and you're not getting enough diet, so like proper food. So I would make sure I have my curcumin extreme, my minerals, my magnesium, my omega 3s, my OPC3. It's just an example. So I know I make sure I take them, right? I focus on
Right.
them. So it supports me to do what I need to do. So it's
Right.
and sometimes I don't need to because if I have 3 good days, I might say, okay, I'm good, right? But in general, though, you and I work really hard. We juggle a lot of things. So anyone who's listening, if you're juggling with a lot, come reach out, talk to us, and we will give you a recommendation customized, like what is best for what you need. That's the most important
Right.
thing. Not everyone needs to take everything I'm talking about, both, but those are the basic sort of like um support for your body and your organ. So I do make sure I do that.
So yeah, and I'm glad you said that because as you were speaking, I was thinking, especially, and again, I'm going to say sisters, women who have been diagnosed, and so now they're on chemo, or they've done chemo, or they have radiation, plus they're on hormones and all of this stuff, and so, or those who have gone past the chemo and radiation, and now they're taking whatever the pharmaceutical thing is that says you have to take this thing for 5 years. After a while, like, your body is just done. And so to hear you talk about like OPC3 and all of that, um, do you think that in terms of listening to your body, for women who are, because I think the body at that point, my mind is racing, is tricking them because they have this chemo stuff in them, that they had the radiation. Now they're making them take these they're taking these medications, and the body is just so confused on a
Mhm.
cellular level. How do we begin to listen to what's the real deal in the body?
Okay. So first of all, there's so much knowledge out there too. So you have to just be aware and listen to it and look at it, look for it. Don't wait for someone just to tell you. Do your research as well. Okay.
Yeah.
Just for example, chemotherapy. A lot of people would say, well, my doctor really didn't emphasize on the side effects or didn't like go over it as much, or, saying this is problematic. So I'm just going to sort of like not focus on it or not be concerned about it. The thing is that the doctor is not going to sit down with you and really say, look out for these signs and this and so forth. They're going to say there are going to be side effects, but this is more important, and that's it. But the side effect is really what you need to look into, right? Like nausea, vomiting, maybe digestive issue, diarrhea, constipation,
even
pain.
even sweats, because if you get to a certain age and you think, oh my god, maybe I'm in menopause or perimenopause, but and the medication can actually push you, even if you're young, into that stage of your life. which
That's
so
right.
again, the body is like so confused.
That's right. See, the doctor's not going to say, oh, you have these side effects, so do X, Y, and Z to counteract the side effects in a
Mhm.
natural way. And this is where the supplement herbs and food comes in to, so like think about if the chemo is attacking your cancer
Yes,
cells, but it's also
yes,
attacking different organs, your liver, your
absolutely.
kidney, attacking healthy cells, your T cells and so forth, your immune cells. So it's attacking these things. So you're feeling awful, you're feeling tired, and you're just gonna accept it. And that's about not listening to your body. You're just accepting it. You're like, this
Yeah,
is what I
yeah,
need, right? But if you listen to your body's screaming at you like you're hurting me, I don't like it, like please
yeah,
do something about it, but you're ignoring it, right? To the point, I remember the time when we just met and you said I felt for you, I felt your pain. You said your fingers tips,
yes.
remember how long
Numb.
it took your the
Mm-hmm.
not just numbness but pain, just
Yeah,
grabbing
yeah,
something, doing something. I'm sure it feel painful just brushing your teeth,
right,
you know
right. Yeah, yeah. I mean,
or
and the
writing or
joint, my
writing
joints,
something or
right.
typing.
Yeah. My joints were, I mean, they were inflamed so much that they would literally hurt. Now you see, I mean, I don't have
But for how
any
long
pain
was
at
it?
all.
Like a month? It was months of
Months. I mean, I mean, it went on for months. So yes, all of that medication also caused pain. You're correct. You're correct.
yeah, and but that think about the interruption in your life in the
Hmm.
day to day. That is the not just the pain, but the pain of not being able to do what you normally do, the independence that you have, right? You have to rely on other people to do things for you or give up doing certain things, right?
Right. Right. And so you go back to that statement, listen to your body. And so for me, when I came to you and I was like, I truly don't think that this medication or this regimen that they have me on is correct. So I literally had to go and advocate for myself with the doctors and say, it's too much.
Mm,
This is what's happening with my body. And I want to go a step further with this too and say that sometimes what happens is, especially with women of color, black women, they go, oh, I don't know if it's an unconscious, um, and I want to be careful with my words. I don't know if it's an unconscious thing that they do, where, oh, it's okay, like your pain threshold is high, which is not true. And so when what I heard, Yan, when I started to really think about my body and wanting to take care of it and going to the doctor and saying, no, this is far too much, I heard, but that's not really a side effect. That's not really
mm,
something that we haven't seen this before. Well, I'm feeling it. I'm telling you that this is happening. I'm also telling you that this medication is too strong for me.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm,
so, again, the beginning of the conversation that we had is talking about, the just being aware and listening to the body. And so, as a result of me listening to my body, going to this doctor and saying, "Hey, this is too much," he finally heard me and reduced the amount of chemo that was
mm-hmm,
happening. And it was during that time where my joints was, I mean, killing me.
mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
yes, all of the other side effects were happening as well. And then they give you medication to help the side effects from the medication that they already gave you. And it's like, no. So I found you and it was like, I needed to go natural. It's like, how do I do this without I want to have my cells, what's the word? Like I want them to grow stronger and healthier. And I felt like, that Pac-Man thing, like the
Yeah,
medication was just
yeah,
eating it up. And I was like, no, I need something that will be able to fight back and
yeah.
know that I can make sure my cell health on a cellular
Mm-hmm,
level, I was going to be okay. And so, the what you helped me with the isotonics and all of that, again, being aware of my body and what was
mm-hmm.
happening. I told you what was happening, and so you could speak to that piece.
Well, you're a great student too, and I think when you're in that pain, when you're suffering, your antennas are up and you're starting to listen. And I think so that way when I'm explaining things to you, you can connect the dot. You can start listening and understanding. Understanding is part of the listening. and then I'm applying it. We have to understand in order to take action. Applying it is taking action. We don't take action when we don't understand what we need or why we need certain things, right? But you're in so much pain and discomfort at that time that if you keep going on that pharmaceutical and Western medicine model route, it just continues to be pain and more pain. And so your inner spirit, the voice in your body said, enough is we can't, we have to stop, right? We have to
Right,
do
right.
something different. And you don't know what that different is. And then we met and we talked about it and discussed and say, that sounds more loving, that sounds more kind, that sounds healing. That's, in general, like we feel those things. We might not understand everything. You don't have to understand all the signs that I might learn
Right,
and be able to dissect, but you understand that like what is kind and loving to your body and what is very harsh. And,
right.
you know,
But I think that's also where, the mentorship come in at as well. So me turning to you, even though I didn't know, I knew that I had someone in my circle who was brilliant, kind, loving, and understood the process. So I sought your expertise. I sought the mentorship so that I can understand what was actually happening. Even though I felt it in my body, I knew something wasn't right.
mhm,
To be able to go to you and say, this and this is happening. And you were able to say, okay, let's look at, so even blood work, just looking at the blood work and them saying, oh, it's just this. And you go, no, okay, let's try, these types of supplements that will help you. And I was able to shift all of it. And as, you know, um, community, as you can see right now, and I'm healthy, my hair is healthy,
yeah.
I feel good about, where I am in life, and as a result of putting in the work. Like I had to put in the work to shift that. Even by the way I think and feel, I mean, is different at this point.
And this is how you birthed this amazing book, right? Connecting with your
Yeah,
truth. That's
yeah,
how that was
yeah,
birthed, and then all your speaking engagements and your workshop because you're alive, right? What you
yes,
if you're doing something good to yourself, you feel alive inside.
yes,
It's not
yeah,
forced.
right. And I'm speaking from experience, right? My lived experience. Like I walked through this thing, so I'm not trying to say to sisters and their families, like, oh, here, do this, do this. No, I'm telling you that I've lived this experience, all of it,
Hmm.
and I want to share possibilities with you so that you can show up and grow up in a way that you want to. Yeah,
Yeah, and
and you
so
deserve to.
well, thank you. When you talk about the mentorship and the community, let's give your audience a little sneak peek of what's going to come. We haven't finalized the date yet, but you're creating a mentorship for the community and what that
Yes.
looks like. And I'm happy to be part of it so that we can continue. I can continue to share my knowledge and help the women in your community.
Yes, yes. So we are, yeah, so yes, a sneak peek. I like that, Yan. Yes, we want to be able to work with, I think we start off with no more than, and we haven't really worked this out yet, but I think we should start off with no more than 20-25 sisters.
Yeah.
So we will build a community, a support team for her to help her to navigate, especially if she's newly diagnosed, but even those who aren't newly diagnosed and is still but has made it on the other side of this, maybe 3-4 years out, you still have things that are happening with you. So if I can be transparent, even right now, I have lymphedema still. And we'll talk later, we'll get into all of that. But we want to create a space, a safe space, a trauma informed space where sisters can come and really share their experiences and get help to navigate everything from the way they're thinking and feeling, which is all real, to their supplements, to meditation, to like, so all of this is what we want to be able to share with women and their families. So, I mean, it's real important that they have a strong community too. And so we want to be able to mentor some sisters through this process. So Yan and I have
Yeah.
some work to do, and we want to be able to, with some of those sisters, take them on. We have a sister friend who, she's amazing. She experienced, and she was a stage 4 when she met you,
Yes.
and she has a place in Jamaica, and we want to go and be able to hang out with sisters and do a natural retreat with them and all of that. So I'm looking forward to our partnership. Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely. So we will wrap up here so that
Yeah.
if you have any questions, you have other topic you want us to cover, concerns, or do some Q&A, just drop it on the comments. We'll definitely look through it, and then we can cover it the next time.
Beautiful. It was wonderful. And just remember, it's never too late to connect with your truth, my sisters. Show up in your greatness. Have an amazing day. Peace and blessings.